I just went to a James Tynion signing at my local comic book shop. Stay tuned to see what I got signed. Welcome back, comic book fans. This is Rusty again with Collector Auctions, and today I've got a short batch of comics that I got signed at a James Tynion signing at Third Eye Comics in Annapolis, Maryland. This is at least the second time that I've seen James Tynion there, but he has been back to the store multiple times over the last few years, and he's very popular. Of course, he is the creator of Something's Killing Children, House of Slaughter. He had an amazing run on Batman where he created so many new and memorable characters, including Punchline. And this is just to name a short few things that he's done. Nice House on the Lake comes to mind, as well as some of his newer books like Blue Book is out there. And there's definitely World Tree. World Tree is really hot right now as well, because that book, I think we had a beautiful Jenny Frison cover that just came out. We had first issue had a printing era that became something that was very hot for a moment. But again, a lot of popular books that he's been coming out with, and it was a joy to go down to Annapolis and meet him for a second time and get to talk to him. And I'm going to show you the books here in a second, but before we do that, definitely hit that notification bell so you won't miss out on content like this each and every week. But I also, please guys, hit that like button if you like today's episode, and definitely hit the subscribe button as well, because that helps out the algorithm and it gets this channel out to other subscribers, other viewers out there who enjoy comic book content. But that's it. Sit back for a few moments. I got just a little bit of footage from the show, and there's a nice photo of me and James Tynion that we took, and then we'll get into the books. Alright guys, so I hope you enjoyed this, that little bit of footage from Third Eye Comics. I didn't take a lot there. In fact, I got in the store and I was talking with the fellow behind me, and we were talking for so long that I forgot to take pictures in the store of the line that we were standing in. I took some out before I got into the line outside the store, and then once I got up to the James Tynion table himself, with him and himself, but I completely forgot, got wrapped up in our conversations and talking about books and comics and signings and CGC, things like that, and I completely forgot to show you how big this crowd was for James Tynion. Well, we got there, and I got up there and I got to talk to him, and this is the second time, as I said, that I've got books signed by him. So I was going through the collection of what I'd gotten signed previously versus what I wanted to get signed this time, and I don't think there were any dupes in here, but there is one, possibly two duplicates in here. But let me give you a little bit of a setup. So when Third Eye Comics has a signing, it's free to the public, but they sell VIP spots that get to go in before the regular public. And because most of the time these signings are on Saturdays starting at 11 o'clock, well, I work at 3 o'clock and I need to be there at where I work by 2 o'clock. I need to be to Amazon by 2 o'clock. So I don't have a lot of time. So I want to make sure I get through that line fast. And it also gives you the ability to get a few extra books signed as well. I think the way they have it set up is you can bring 6 books in to get signed, and then you can pick up 6 books on the table to get signed, because right there where he's sitting, if you saw the footage right there, but I just showed you, there's all kinds of books on the table, and it's a lot of newer things, and there definitely wasn't any of the older stuff on there. It was most of them are brand new books, including World Tree, and a lot of the newer Something's Killing Children books, and trade paperbacks and things like that. So it gives you the ability to get a few more things signed. So I've got a small batch here of what I took in and some of the things I picked up on the table. Let's just go through it right here real quick. So this right here is Department of Truth. Which issue is this? This is issue 13, but I picked this up off of Whatnot because it has this beautiful Virgin Greg Horn cover. And the idea was, I know that this book at the time when I picked it up, as if you got a 9.8 on this, had a little bit of value. but it ended up having a little bit of color rub down here that I decided I wasn't going to get it graded. But I felt like, I think I have seen Greg Horn at least at 1 or 2 shows over the years, and I thought, okay, this is a book that if I can get James Tynion to sign, I'll hold on to this and see if I can find Greg Horn at a show down the road at some point. Beautiful cover. And this right here is a book that was a reject from a 9.8 pre-screen to CGC. It is the first copy, the first cover. This is cover A to the #1 issue from Department of Truth. And it's a book that once I got it back, I tried to rework the little spine tick I had over here in this black cover. Could not get it out, but I felt like the book's in really great shape. It's still in that 9.4, 9.6 range, but I went ahead and got it signed. It's a book that I just kind of neat to have that into your PC. And if the book ever takes off and really this becomes the next big TV event at Department of Truth, I can always send it into CBCS. Just like any of these books, I can send it into CBCS to have it authenticated and then graded. Now, this is a book that I had gotten signed before, but I love this book because I love mentioning it every time I go to a James Tynion signing the second time. I give him the same story, which is this book right here is what got me back into DC Comics. It was this image of the Batman Who Laughs. I saw that on the internet and I'm like, oh my God, what is this? And I had to find out what this is. And this story is just unbelievable. I love this issue, and getting James Tynion to sign that was a personal pleasure because the book actually means a little bit to me. So, and then as I said, I got this signed. This is Blue Book #1, his newest book, and you've got the artist on this is Oming, who's the artist on Powers that he did with Michael Bendis. And I'm not quite a fan of the artwork as much in this. It was pretty simple, but brand new book. I don't know if it's going to take off or anything. I don't think I got a duplicate. I had duplicates of this, but I'd only gotten one of them signed, I think. And this right here, this was the foil copy to Something's Killing Children #1. It is the local comic shop day rendition. I picked this up at the last signing, but I decided to hold it back. I thought about getting it graded and actually sending it into his CGC signing, James Tynion's. But it ended up having, there's a little bit of a tick in this cover. I'm not sure where it is. I can't see it right off. But that really, really stands out right there. That silver paint pen he had, or it was actually a marker, really did good on that one. And as I said, his newest book is World Tree, and I just had a regular cover on that, and I got him to sign that. And then this right here, probably people will look at me as like, why would you get this signed? Well, this is part of his Batman run. This is issue number 98. And I got this signed because I know David Finch, who did the cover here, is going to be at either Baltimore Comic Con or Heroes Con. I don't remember which one. And I would love to get him to sign this as well. So it'd be nice to have two creators on the same comic. I love this cover. You got Harley and you've got Punchline, and absolutely just amazing artwork with Batman there in the background there. And speaking of Punchline, here is Batman number 89. Now, what is the deal? Is this the issue where it's the first full appearance? I never can remember. I know there's the Year of the Villain, Hell Arisen #3. You got this issue, and you have issue number 92. And I never can remember which one's which. I think this right here is not the first printing of this. This is a third printing. So I thought, and this is a book I thought about getting graded as well, but it's got a little bit of a tick. But I kind of like getting some of the books that are more significant to a creator to get signed. This one was simply a cover signing. I've got another one like this from the Batman run. This is issue number 100. It's got this beautiful cover here. It's got Batman on this side, and then you turn it over, and you've got the villains with the Joker right there. And what's neat is in the background, if you can see, you've got on the hero side, you've got all of Batman family, and on the other side, you've got the bunch of the villains. And I love the fact that here you have the hero side, and you've got Harley, who's on the hero side in these issues. I'm not sure where I'm not reading Harley Quinn. I'm not reading that series, any of those books and everything, but I found that she was real interesting in this James Tynion run. And then speaking of great covers. I ended up getting this one signed too. This is issue number 106, and it's a complete Batman family. It is a wraparound, and front you've got the Batman family, and then on the back you start to have the villains and everything. And I love this copy. It's just a beautiful artwork. I want to say, who did this? I'm not sure who did the art. It's Jimenez. Yeah, it's Jorge Jimenez did the artwork. Gotta love that. That's some beautiful stuff. Now this one I picked up, and in fact I think I got a couple of these graded. This is the second printing of Joker #2. This is the first appearance of Vengeance, the daughter of Bane, and this was one of her first cover appearances. Of course, the first printings, they had that one, it was a ratio with a real close-up of her face, but I picked these up because this was actually also a first appearance on the cover there. So I have a few of these in the collection. I went ahead and got that just because of the significance of a first appearance of a character. And then the last one I got was another Something's Killing Children. And this was a Third Eye Comics exclusive, and you'll have to excuse me, I don't remember the artist on this, but I had picked up several issues and copies of this, but I went ahead and got one of them signed, and it, with this cardstock cover, well, it's not the thickest cardstock, but it's still a cardstock matte finish cover, and with the silver marker here really pops on that. And the only other thing I ended up getting signed at this signing was this right here. It is a trading card. I'm going to zoom in on this so you can see it. It is a card. It's comic book greats. It's a generic autograph card from the company theautographcard.com, and they make trading cards like this, and I'll show you the back as well. You can see on the back, I'm not zooming in quite close enough, but you've got a spot where you can put a person's name, where you got something signed, you can put the date, and they make a lot of different cards like this. This company, theautograph.com, does a lot of different trading cards for sports mostly. That's where they started, and then they did a lot of non-sports. They've got this card right here. I'll put this right here. Actually, let's put it in the center so you can see it a little bit. They do comic book greats. They do an artist card so you can get small sketches done on trading cards. They do non-sports cards as well. And I've been using them for years to collect autographs, whether in person or through the mail. And I started getting these comic book cards. I started getting these back probably about 10 years ago. And I would take them to cons. And now this is before CGC started witnessing every autograph and every artist was having to charge for their signatures. So I would get a ton of these. And in fact, I'm thinking about, I'll do a show later on where I will show you a lot of the cards that I've gotten signed over the years, as well as some of the sketch cards that I've gotten along the way. They actually make really good items to get signed that it's a lot easier to get these signed than, say, taking tons of comic books to a show. But with CGC and forcing the artists to charge now for the autographs, I get a lot less of these done, unfortunately. But I've gotten some pretty big names over the years. I did get a Stan Lee that I eventually sold. I didn't want to, but it was a pretty good offer at the time. Now, of course, I completely regret it. But I've gotten sketch cards back in the mail from people like John Romita Sr., Mike Zeck, and Walt Simonson, just to name a few. And they're really good for the artist cards in particular, are really good for sending away to Disney animators, for example. But I'm digressing again. I will do a show on that. I'll bring out the binder and I'll show you a lot of those autographs at some point. But I did want to get James Tynion on one of these cards to add to the PC. So that's it for today, guys. I hope you all enjoyed this. Let me know what you think about all the books I got signed. Let me know what you think about the trading card here as well by leaving me a comment in the comment section below. And if you guys are ever interested in any of the books I show off on the channel, just reach out to me at collectorauctions.com. Let's try that again, collectorauctions@yahoo.com, or DM me on Instagram. And if you want to just look and see what I've got for sale currently, check out my eBay store or go to the link below for the short box store as well. I have a lot, mostly the slabs are for sale. They're all on Shortbox and eBay. So check those out and I'll let you know what I have have available. Anyway, that's it. I'm out of here. I hope you enjoyed this short video. I enjoyed meeting James Tynion. Have you? Let me know, guys. Have you ever got to meet James Tynion as well? This was a pleasure. This is the second time I've got to meet him, and I definitely enjoy a lot of his work. So, thanks, guys. I'm out of here. I'll see you for the next show. And remember, guys, every comic has a story.